Love the payment before you love the house. What's going on, guys? My name is Minh with What's a Mortgage. Welcome to our channel. The goal of our channel is to educate, empower, and to connect you with the right mortgage. And tonight, guys, we are going to go over how to prepare W-2 buyers to buy in 2021. Last week, we went over self-employed. This week, we're going over W-2 employees, aka wage earner. If you work for the man and you get paid, we are going to show you how to prepare yourself to buy in 2021. All right, if it's your first time tuning in, do me a big favor. Hit the notification or subscribe button so you're notified every time we go live. We go live on Facebook and YouTube Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. and we post our content Sunday mornings and Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. All right, so we have 9 a.m. post, 9 p.m. live. So definitely check out our other videos, check out our other content once we post it. Also, if it does bring you value, do me the hugest favor. Share the information and tag someone you know that needs to know what's a mortgage. All right, guys? Also, guys, remember, if you have questions regarding home ownership, it doesn't matter if you're not going to buy 5 years from now, 3 years from now, next year, next week, ask questions. If you have any questions that you want to know, even if you're not buying right away, I want you to ask those questions. All right, guys? So, guys, let's get into W-2. All right? So, prepping W-2 wage earners to buy in 2021. All right? I know because of pandemic, a lot of things have happened. So, I'm going to give you the information so you can empower yourself, so you can be well versed to qualify. Right? I want to give the power back to you. You know what I hate? I hate it when I go to a car dealership and I'm looking at a car and I'm sitting there with anxiety waiting for the financing to pop up to see what the payment's going to be. So I understand that feeling when it comes to buying a car. I'm guessing homeownership is even bigger, right? You love the house. You have your down payment. You worked hard, but you're sitting there in the unknown, not knowing, do I qualify or do I not? Or how much do I qualify for, right? Sometimes people think they're already overqualified, but they don't even qualify at all. So tonight we're going to go over that so you have the power. Let's say it together. I have the power. I have the power. You have the power because you have the knowledge because you watch What's a Mortgage. All right? Let's get into it. So prepping W-2, right? If you're a wage earner, you work for the man, you get paid an income, you get taxed on it. This is for you. All right? So before we start, make sure that these are the things you need when you start doing your pre-qualifications, okay? You need to know these things, right? Your last 2 years of your W-2, your most recent pay stubs, the wage earner income calculator. If you'd like a copy of it, please message us tonight and we will send you the copy of the income calculator. Also, you need the Techie Lender qualifier. Did you upload the right one, Andy? Is the Techie Lender calculator or qualifier on there, right? Also, you need to know the debt to income instruction sheet. All right, so we're going to provide this information for you. You're sitting there going, I don't have these things. How can I prepare myself? We are going to provide you these tools, right? As long as you message us, or you can go on our Techie Lender website and download some of this information. All right, so these are the things you need. So if you're going to decide to buy a home, you and your spouse, make sure you watch this video, right? Let's say you have your down payment, you're ready. You want to see what you qualify for. You can do it yourself. We made it so simple for you that you can do this. So when you call a loan officer, you're only calling to verify. You should know this information, all right? So once you have all this information in front of you, what do you do with it? Next thing is realize, what scenario are you in, right? Have you been at your same job for over 2 years, right? Are you that person that's been at their job for over 2 years, right? Someone who's been there forever, perfect scenario, right? But we're not always in the perfect scenario. Or are you using overtime and bonus to qualify, right? So did you want to use your overtime or bonus? If you change jobs, did your old job have overtime or bonus? Because if it doesn't, you can't use it on your new job and you can only use the base income, right? Did you recently change jobs the year you're buying? How can you average out income if you change jobs under 2 years or under a year, right? Let's say you're buying in 2020, but you change jobs in February, right? So you only have, let's say, 10 months worth of employment. How can you average it out? You don't need to average it out over 2 years, right? Because you've only had the job for 8 months. Also, did you go from self-employed to W-2? You can't average out your self-employed with your W-2 because you're not self-employed anymore. So every scenario is different. Depending on that scenario, we're going to use the income calculator a specific way for you to figure out your income to qualify for home ownership. Okay? So now you know if your scenario, if I didn't bring up your scenario, please message me. Okay? Also, let's for some of you guys, if there's a gap longer than 6 months because of COVID, it's okay. I think they're giving people a year almost. All right. So definitely, if you have a scenario that I didn't bring up, please bring it up to us. All right. So now that we have all this information, you got the information, right? You got the things you need to qualify yourself. You know your scenario. The next thing is to look at how to look at your W-2. What is the underwriter looking for, right? What is the underwriter looking for on this W-2? So when you're looking at your W-2, you're looking for the largest number, okay? The largest number. And that number here is $62,478.21. You're always looking for the largest number, okay? The next one, the next W-2. So that's why you need 2 years. You're looking for the largest number, $62,008. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to plug these numbers in instead of going back and forth. 1 second here. Let me plug this number in for 2018. It was 62,478 and 21 cents. And let me plug in the next one. The next one is $62,008.81. Okay, and then after that, your pay stubs. So here's your pay stub. Your pay stub gets a little complicated, right? So we're gonna zoom in on this pay stub really quick. So on this pay stub, what you are looking for when you are inputting your pay stub into the income calculator, what you want to look for is you want to look for the date the pay period ended, not the date the pay period, the paycheck got dispersed. The date the pay period ended. So let me go here on the calculator really quick. 1 second here. Let me put in the date. The date here is, what's it? 11/30/2020. Okay. 2020. Right? And then we're going to put in so when you're looking at the pay stubs, right? What you're looking for is the date the pay period ended and looking for the largest number on your paycheck. So let's scroll around here and look at it. I'm going to look at it here. So the largest number here is 39,976, right? So you want to go to the income calculator, put in 39,976. It all makes sense in just a second, guys, right? And 45. Right here. The hourly is right here, right? $13 an hour. That means I can tell you this person works a lot of overtime. So if you're using a lot of overtime, if you're with the same job, great. But if you change jobs, right, and they don't use a lot of overtime, if you change jobs and you had overtime in your old job, you can use overtime in your new job. If your new job is heavy overtime and there was no overtime in your old job, you cannot use that overtime. You will need a 2-year history. One of the biggest dilemmas people run into a lot of times, they take a job that pays them less hourly, but pays them way more in commission or way more in overtime, even though net, they're making more money because overtime and bonus and commission is not guaranteed. So if you take a job where you took less money, but you get way more bonus, way more overtime, you're going to need a 2-year history to use it. If you don't have a 2-year history, you can't use it. They're going to just use your base income on your old job and let you use your base income on your new job. And if your new job took a lower base, you're going to have to accept that income. So be very careful as you're changing jobs, right? So right here, let me see here. This one is $13 an hour. Let me put this in here. $13 an hour. And this thing was issued, documented 11/30/2020. Okay. Right. So let's go back here to this W-2 really quick. Right. Let me zoom it back out to normal, Andy. All right. So we're looking here at this number, this 62,000. Right, guys. So we're going here to 62,000, 2018. What's this here? 62,478.21. We go to 2019. We look at right here, 62,008 and 81 cents. All right. So now that we have that, right, we can go to our income calculator. So here, guys, the income calculator, right? We put in there at $13 an hour. This consumer makes $22.53. Okay. If we looked at their 2000 and let's see here, 2018, they made $52,000. This thing was a mistake here. It was 62,000 here. Or 60,000 here. Hold on 1 second here. It was 60,000. It was 60,000 here, right? So 60,000. So you can tell something happened during COVID, right? So of course, because of COVID, we're gonna have to average out their income, right? Of course, we average out their income. It's only $22.53 on the lower end, right? So this person right now, they make less money. So the underwriter's gonna do two things. They're either gonna give you the $22.53 or the $36.34. Or it tells you this person probably can't buy till next year once their overtime goes back up, right? That tells you right here. So that tells you right here, if they're trying to buy, if they were looking at their income, trying to buy in 2021, they can look at their income right now like, man, my income declined, right? So I need to make sure before I buy in 2021, my income goes back up, right? You can see 2019, I made $5,000. 2018, I made $5,200, right? My year to date right now is showing $22.53, which is 40 hours a week, right? Are they going to give me my 40 hours a week? Or are they going to give me $36.34? So right here, right, if I was an underwriter, would I give them the $22.53? Most likely not, because it looks like their year to date is still $36.34. Okay, I can't give them the $5,000 a month, but what we did on this income calculator, if you scroll down, right, it tells you right here the income the underwriter will probably use is they took the average 4642. Does that all make sense, guys? We took 4642, and how I got 4642 was averaging out of these 3 years, right? The 2 years and 11 months. Okay, so they didn't get the 2253, which is the 40 hours a week, because you can tell this consumer still works overtime. Okay, but because they're making 36.34, but also the underwriter takes in consideration because of the COVID, right? Because of COVID, I can't give them the 5,000. 36.34 might not be enough. So they're either going to give them 36.34 if they're going to take the year to date, or they're going to give them the 46.42. So let's say 46.42 is the number we're going to use. Okay. So now that we have a number, the next step is to use the techie lender calculator to figure out how much can you qualify for, right? So when you have your income, after you put it into the income calculator, the next step is going to the techie lender calculator, right? So we go to the calculator here. Bang. We click next, right? You scroll down. So when you scroll down, do me a favor. You guys can go the qualifier, click the green screen, right? Click yes on the qualifier, right? Here's where you got to decide what you want your debt to income ratio to be, right? For me, I would be okay with 50% debt to income ratio because I know that my income is going to go back to normal, right? That's just me. I'm aggressive, right? Not that aggressive, but aggressive, right? But if I know my average income looked the same for the last couple years, I would go with maybe a 45, 47% DTI, right? So I go with the 50% debt to income ratio. My monthly income, what were we saying? It was 46.42, right? 46.42. And the next step, once you do the income calculator, you want to know what debts do you add to your DTI. And this is one thing people don't take in consideration, right? So what's in your debt to income ratio, right? So when you're trying to figure out your debt to income ratio, you want to look at your monthly debts, not your monthly bills. You want to add your monthly car payments, right? Student loans, installment debt, child support, alimony, IRS payment, right? Any installment debt means any debt you finance jewelry, furniture, electronics, anything that you did a personal guarantee with your credit would be on there. What's not included in your DTI, which you don't add up, is your cell phone bill, cable bill, utilities, life insurance, health insurance, current rent, okay? So once you decide your bill, let's say this person bill was $800 a month, right? And all these bills. So once we go back to the Techie Lender calculator, we put in total liabilities, $800. You never include your current rent, okay? Now that we have that, we can figure out our DTI, right? So we can scroll to the top. Let's say they're buying FHA, 400,000, right? What is it? 400,000 here. Hold on. FHA, 400,000, and the rate. Let's say today is let's say 2.375 right now. Down payment, 14 grand, and closing costs. Their monthly payment is $22.63. See that $22.63? So after this, it will tell me, it says I don't qualify. My liabilities are over by $742. My debt to income ratio is 66%. So I can go back to the drawing board and decide, do I bring in a bigger down payment? Do I come down with the purchase price? If I make this amount of money, I can't buy. Maybe let me go back and change some numbers, right? Remember, if your debt to income ratio is too high, you can do a couple things. Bring down the purchase price, bring in a bigger down payment, pay off debt, or add that cosigner, okay? So once you have everything you need to approve yourself as a wage earner, the next step is, what scenario are you in, right? Of course, if you change jobs, you don't need to put in your W-2s. The reason why you don't need to put in your W-2s is because the W-2s are there to validate that you worked the last 2 years. If your job is like 6 months old, you're going to put in the correct information and it'll compute out what your income is in the last 6 months, okay? So definitely, guys, make sure you put the number in there, you figure out what's on your debt, and now you can budget what you need to do to buy in 2021, right? If you use the income calculator, you use a Techie Lender site, right? And you use the information that I provided you, you should be able to figure out your monthly payment on the income calculator and decide what's a mortgage, right? For you to decide now, do I need to bring down my purchase price? Do I need to increase my down payment? Should I pay off some debt, right? Let's say that $700 a month in debt, maybe I can eliminate $400 a month, $300 a month, and drop my monthly overall debt, and now I can qualify for more home, right? So that's the most important thing for you to do, is understand these things. Understand, what you need so you can buy in 2021, right? I know it sounds kind of challenging. It's kind of overwhelming. You can watch this video again. We will be doing this again sometime second quarter. This is a run through for those of you who have already hit me up. Man, I want to buy in 2021. I want to buy in 2021. What do I need to prepare to buy in 2021? Now you know what you need as a wage earner, and now you know how to make sure you have the right information so you are more confident when you go out there and you search for your home. All right, guys, let's go some Q&A really quick here. Hello Kia has a great question from YouTube. What if you recently changed departments within the same company? So if you change departments in the same company and you got a pay raise, right, they're going to let you use your new base income to buy your home after you have 1 month of pay stubs. But it must be at least 40 hours a week, okay? If it's not a 40-hour-a-week job, they're going to average out the income. But if you took a new position in the same company, right, and you make more money, as long as it's 40 hours a week, they will let you use the new base pay after the first month of getting paid. Hopefully that helps you out. What's up, Twanathan? How you doing? Jazz, what if you get a promotion and you get more overtime and commission bonus? So Jazz, if you get promoted and your salary or your hourly or your anything that's constant goes up, you can use that base, but you still have to average out overtime or bonus. Hopefully that helps you out. Marlene, if you refinance a car, will it affect being approved? So Marlene has a great question. Marlene Mina, if you refinance a car, will it affect being approved? So if you already got approved to buy a home and you refinance a car, right, it could affect your credit score because you closed out a trade line and you've got a new trade line, right? If you refinance a car, wait 60 or 90 days, because once you close out a loan, you get a new loan and you make 3 month payments, it should boost your credit score. Don't do it while you have been approved and you're shopping, because it can bring down your credit score. Hopefully that helps you out. Victor, as an active duty vet, what is the first time funding fee at 100% financing? So, Victor, if you are an active vet, if you have if you don't have more than 10% disability or you don't have a Purple Heart, there's a funding fee, right? That means they're going to tack on 2.30% to the purchase price. For example, on 400,000, they're going to add on a little bit over $8,000, right? That funding fee there is to keep the VA alive and well, okay? So there's a funding fee. But if you have more than 10% disability or you're a Purple Heart, they waive that funding fee. When you buy a home, it's financed. You do not need to come out of pocket for it. When you're buying a house as a veteran, what you want to worry about is the closing costs. But rates are at an all-time low. You can take a higher rate and cover closing costs as well. Hopefully that helps you out. Jody David, how can I get down payment assistance? What do I need to apply? I work for a hospital, but I'm not a nurse. Is it still gonna be free? So Jody, so when you buy a home with down payment assistance, you still got to come out of pocket about 2% of the purchase price. If you work in the hospital, I know there's these grants, but you're still probably going to come out. If you go with that GSFA Platinum for people who work for hospitals, you still got to come out of pocket about 3 to 4%. So if you're going to do that, might as well go with a conventional or an FHA loan right now. With rates at an all-time low, you can take a higher rate to cover your closing costs. If you're talking about doing down payment assistance, you need a 660 credit score, and you need about 2% of the purchase price, and you want to keep that purchase price under 450. Hopefully that helps you out. All right, guys, I really appreciate everyone who watched, everyone who liked, everyone who shared. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely do so, all right, guys? Because we'll be coming out with continual content every week. This Wednesday, I'm going to go over, right, if you bought a home in 2020, right, or if you own a home and you didn't know this, right, the documents you want ready to bring to your tax person to maximize your tax benefit as a homeowner, right? We're going to go over the final HUD, the 1098, right? Tax brackets. So this coming Wednesday, or if you are going to be a homeowner and you want to know your tax benefits, this coming Wednesday, we're going to go over that, right? It's the end of 2020, and I want to make sure we go over, right, what to prepare to file your taxes as a homeowner, right? And how to maximize that benefit. That's the stuff we bring here at What's a Mortgage, right? I'm not throwing shade on any other influencer on YouTube or Facebook, but I know what our people go through because I'm on Messenger on this. Sometimes you guys are like, oh, Minh, why can't Minh call me? I try my best to get to everybody, but because on Messenger, I'm solving everyone's problem or giving them an answer they have peace of mind to buy, sometimes I can't get to that call. But because I get a lot of the same questions, and that's why when I build content, I build it, I don't read out of a book. I don't just do manuals. Where I've seen a lot of, like I said, not to throw smack on anybody. Some people, they're just reciting out of the FHA guideline book, out of the conventional guideline book, but they're not going through what you go through as a consumer. They're not going through and showing you what you need to empower yourself so you have more confidence to buy. So that's why you watch Wham. That's my plea to you guys. All right, guys? And we want to end all our episodes with our attitude is gratitude. So without you, there will be no us. So thank you everyone from Facebook and YouTube for watching, and enjoy the rest of the night, and I will see you on Wednesday. Again, thank you so much for watching our show. If you have any challenges or concerns regarding What's a Mortgage, call me 714-332-2526.